Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Don's Hot Rod Garage. Big Don with you. Hey, thanks for everybody that watched my last video and checked out the Camaro and said something nice about the pup. Little sucker took a piece of my soul with him, and I'll forever miss him. And it meant a lot, everybody reaching out to me. So I've been doing some moving around and refocusing my brain and my garage. So let's see where we're at. So what I did was I had to move everything, and it was a friggin' drag. But I moved this out, the 57 Nomad out, which I'm going to try to find a spot for it. I don't know if I'll be able to, but we're going to try. But as it stands right now, the reality of it is these are the three that'll stay. Like I said, I'm going to try to protect this one as best as I can, but at the end of the day, you can only do what you can do. And it was actually really, really cool because I drove the old gasser. Obviously, I had to move that, but I took that thing for a spin, took this one for a spin, and was absolutely loving it. So, plus, I mean, if we just take a step back, I mean, the garage just looks healthier, looks happier, in my opinion. So I figure we've got a lot of time invested in this car, and I've done a lot of good things to it, and our weather has just been killing us. You get a lot of nice days, but then you get a lot of like really heavy rain, and then like real dense fog, and it really I showed it on the last video, it really put a hamper on the engine. And this is a fully rebuilt engine in here, but like them was looking really nice, and I could probably get them to come back. But the point I'm trying to emphasize is, if as hard as it is to build these cars, you don't want to be building them and then through Mother Nature and just the elements that I live in, then you start taking a step backwards. So it's sitting in here where I can pull the valve covers off and pull the intake off, which I'm going to try to do throughout this week and maybe next week or this weekend coming up. Get the intake off, respray it with the cast aluminum, and then I've actually got the gasket for it, and I ordered some reproduction intake bolts. It's got the right markings. Well, they're the right markings for a 57 and up high performance, which is fine. Yeah, I was really bummed out and just kind of taken back because, you know, it takes a lot of work to get a car even started in this direction, and then just to see it all basically go backwards right in front of your eyes. So I think I'm in a good spot now. Let me shut this bad boy down. I think it's shut. And then I put the fancy little eyebrows back on it. Yeah, I mean, the more I was looking at this car outside, you know, and I really love that 57 Nomad as well. That's my problem. I love them all, but I mean, I've done a lot of really nice work on this car for it to be outside. And my original theory was to put it outside where I could work on it. And that kind of backfired on me. So it's back in here where it belongs. Oh, I got pinched up in between the two of them. And this is the carburetor that I had got lucky enough to find. This had been rebuilt a really, really long time ago and put into a box, and it may need something put in it, you know, as far as to make it run right. You know, a lot of things have to be set up for the little bit of the ethanol mix, and I'm sure when this one was rebuilt, it did not have that type of thought process in mind, because I would probably say this was probably rebuilt maybe in the 60s or 70s. I mean, it is cherry. I don't know if you could see down in there, but See if we can see the date on it. There you go, May of 55. And what makes this special is it's got the bell crank. See, it throttles back from this pivot point right here. And most of your traditional newer style carburetors pivot right there. So I was real happy to get that. I mean, I had to give a decent chunk of money for it, but I'm probably just going to try to clean it up and get the little bit of ashiness off of there and put some fuel through it, see what happens. It's not the end of the world, because this is the one that I did have, and I mean, it is locked up. It's locked up big time. And I'll have to take this fitting off the back, which I think this is for the windshield washer squirters. So I was super happy to get that one. I mean, that's just a great piece. It really is. See if I can pick it up. Oh, they're just so friggin' heavy. But I mean, look at the overall condition of it. It's hard to find stuff like this. This was only ran in, I'm going to say, the first half of production of 1955 if you ordered the V8 with the power pack, which come with the 4-barrel intake and dual exhaust. A lot of people say that they discontinued this style carburetor in like February or October of 54, but this one right here is dated May, and then the one on the ground is dated April, so I'm gonna say probably about halfway through the model year. Yeah, this thing was wearing me out sitting out there. Like, I just cleaned the window for the first time. You can't clean them a whole bunch because then you'll scratch them all up. So happy to have it back inside. I hate that it come at the sacrifice of the 57 Nomad, but I'm really trying my best to get organized on, you know, what's most important. That car, I mean, you know, if I had a spot to keep everything, I would just keep everything. But then again, you know, if you really look at the process of life, we only have so much time here on Earth. So I'm trying to take the time that I got left and make the most out of it, if that makes sense. And I love that car. It's got a new engine in it and everything, but I've got a 55 Nomad right there that I would rather, you know, years down the road fix up. So I'm gonna start chipping away at that convertible in there, try to get the intake and the valve covers, because my buddy Dan had sent me these a long time ago, and I just got them hanging out back there, the little Chevy valve covers, which I really like the Corvette ones, but that is what a 55 Corvette would have had. It would not have had the fin valve covers on it. So we'll get them on there and reset the distributor in there and start building up the water pump, rebuilding the water pump and things like that. So it was a lot of fun over the last, what is it, the 4th, March 4th today, and man, it was like 70 today. It was like 70 yesterday. But I was out here busy moving all these around. I wanted to go get that Camaro and put the top down, but I tell you, once I got that Camaro and rode around with my daughter in it with the top down, I cannot wait to put the top down on that one and cruise it. That's why it had to go back in the garage. And sometimes in life you gotta make tough decisions, and I'm gonna do everything I can to store this car, try to find a safe place for it. But at the end of the day, they cannot sit outside and just take a beating from the wind and the rain and the humidity and the fog and everything else. Because, like, I put the engine in this car maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It still looks the same as the day I put it in there, because that car always sits in the garage. And I mean, I'll show you this one real quick before I let you go. This engine's only been in here for a couple years, but look what it did to the harmonic balancer. And look at the moisture just coming right down the water pump. Ain't that something? The moisture just in the air, it's just not a good deal. So that's what we've been up to. I'm gonna jump back on this one, at least try to get it fired up, and I gotta still do some metal work to the back of the floor where it meets the trunk, and then kind of right there in front of the rear tires I gotta tie in there and do a little metal repairs and just keep chipping away at it. I'm really looking forward to it. Hear that thing fire up. Well, thanks for stopping by Don's Hot Rod Garage, and once again, thanks for everybody and telling me the kind words about the pup. I mean, I had him for a long time, and you know how dogs are. They can really become part of you, become part of your family. So thanks a lot. That means a lot to me. And thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching the video. I'll catch you guys on the next video.